If you're a CFO, the word growth probably brings a certain sound to mind, right? The sound of a pen writing a very, very big check. New facilities, more people, bigger capacity. It all feels like it needs major capital. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? What if the best fuel for your company's growth isn't in some new budget request, but it's actually hiding in plain sight, right inside your own operations?
Okay, get this. This stat from Gartner really lays it all out. A 30% jump in sales? I mean, that's a massive, massive lift for any team. But trimming 5% from your operating costs? That's actually doable. And this isn't just about penny pinching. It's about realizing that operational efficiency is one of the single most powerful levers for growth you can possibly pull. So that begs the question, right? Why are we all so hardwired to think we have to spend money to make money? It's this default mindset of, well, if it's not in the budget, we just can't do it. Over the next few minutes, we're going to take that assumption, we're going to turn it on its head, and show you a smarter path to fueling your company's future.
But before we dive into how to find that growth, we have to talk about the flip side. Because deciding to do nothing, well, that's not a neutral choice. Sticking with the status quo actually comes with a really steep and often totally hidden price tag.
Just think about it for a second. That roof that needs a patch job, it's not going to fix itself. It just gets worse until one day it's leaking all over your mission critical $1 million equipment. And as the pressure keeps building on your team, their stress goes up and, no surprise, their productivity tanks. And here's the real kicker. While you're waiting, your competitors are out there snagging the exact financial incentives that could be paying for your growth. So let's be super clear here. Inaction is an active choice. It's a strategy that basically hands an advantage to your competition. Every single day you wait, you're not just standing still, you are actively falling behind. The whole idea is to get your business ready for the boom before it actually hits.
All right, so where do we even start looking for all this hidden value? Action number one is to do a deep audit of the two places it's almost always hiding: your physical assets and your human capital. On the one hand, you've got your buildings, your machinery, all your physical stuff. And on the other, you have your people, your human capital. The first step to unlocking all that hidden cash is to really take a hard look at the waste and the potential inside both of these areas. Let me tell you about David Goldman over at Mercury Plastics. He was staring down a huge expense for new roofs, a cost that, by the way, has almost doubled recently. But instead of just writing the check, he took a look at his physical assets and found out he could use funding from the power company to cover the entire project, with zero upfront payment. He was so blown away by the results, he immediately started looking for more projects to do. And what was the result of that process? Check this out. Over $7.5 million in value was captured, all from auditing their existing assets and plugging into the right programs. That's not just some small change, right? That's literally game-changing money. Okay, now let's talk about that other core asset, your people. This is an area we so often overlook as a source of savings, but investing in your team's well-being and performance, wow, it pays off big time. I mean, we're talking about a documented 18% jump in productivity, not to mention less turnover, way better morale, and fewer of those costly mistakes. It's simple, really. A healthy, focused team is a high-performance team. Okay, so you've audited your assets. What's next? Action number two is all about uncovering this huge world of financial incentives that are literally designed to fund the improvements you need to make. This is where you find the cash. And look, it's so important to get this. These aren't some new sketchy loopholes or temporary programs. We've had federal tax credits since the 1970s. These are established long-term programs that the government created specifically to get businesses just like yours to invest in themselves and grow. Let me give you a really concrete example. In Illinois, a company can use incentives to install battery storage. Now, they can use that battery to cut down their own peak energy costs, which, by the way, can be like half your bill, or they can rent out that unused space to a grid operator and create a totally passive income stream of $10, $20, even $30,000 a year. So what does this actually look like for a real business? Well, at Quadrant Tool, Bo Darcy was able to capture nearly $500,000 in savings. That's money that went straight back into growing the company. Over at Rockford Ball Screw, that number was more than $1.2 million. Just take a second and think, what could your company do with an extra 1.2 million bucks on the books? And then there's Camcraft. Get this. The CFO was blown away when they found almost $2 million just by stacking 5 different incentives together on a single project. And this right here is the punchline. For Rockford Ball Screw, the incentives didn't just pay for the project. They were $250,000 more than the total cost. I mean, the owner, Linda, she said it best. Well, I guess this is a no-brainer, isn't it?
And that brings us right to our final and honestly most critical action. You've audited your assets, you've uncovered the incentives. Now you take all that found money and you plow it back into the business for strategic growth so you can go dominate your market.
This is where it gets really powerful. See, this isn't just about saving a buck one time. It's about creating this amazing upward spiral of growth. You get higher cash flow, a lower tax bill, and that lets you invest faster. That investment makes your operations more efficient, which gives you a stronger edge in the market, which lets you attract and keep the absolute best people. It all feeds on itself.
You know, Elon Musk put it perfectly. Waste is like a forever tax on your future. When you systematically find it and get rid of it, you free up all these resources you need to go after your big, ambitious goals. It's about building a leaner, meaner engine for growth. So what's the end game here? What does all this get you? It's a business that's not just more profitable right now, but it's more resilient, it's more stable, and it is fundamentally ready for whatever is coming next. It's the peace of mind you get from knowing you are ready to jump on every opportunity when that next boom arrives. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. How much found money is currently locked away inside your buildings, your daily processes, and your people, just sitting there, waiting for you to look at it in a new way and unlock it?